Hello, welcome to Escaping the Echo Chamber. Today I want to talk about Solo. Don't worry, this is spoiler free. The reason why this is spoiler free is because I haven't seen the movie yet. And I'm not going to see the movie as long as I have to pay to see it. If I can see it for free, I'll check it out. But as long as I got to pay for it, that's not happening. So, what do I want to talk about Solo? I want to talk about the fact that it's not doing nearly as well as a movie of its caliber, of its budget should be doing. And, I've seen stories of people saying why, oh, it's too soon. It's too soon from the last movie. There wasn't enough promotion, perhaps. Just all kinds of excuses as to why it's not doing well. And I have a real simple answer as to why it's not doing well. I think it's fairly obvious why the movie Solo is not done. I mean, it's done decent movies for decent money for, I guess you could say, a regular movie. But like I said, considering the amount of money that's spent in it, considering it's a Star Wars, part of the Star Wars, universe, they were expecting a lot more and they're disappointed, but they shouldn't be surprised. Here's the reason why it's not doing well. Rian Johnson. So you're saying, but wait, Rian Johnson didn't make this movie. He made The Last Jedi. Yes. And he's the reason why people are now like, I can't get excited about it. I can't jump out the window like that. I gotta wait and see. And after waiting and seeing, the reports aren't particularly compelling to cause people to go out there and see it. So that's why it's failing. That's why it's flopping. That's why it's not doing nearly as well as a movie with the amount of money they've put into it should be doing. So for those of you that aren't familiar with Rian Johnson's the idiot that made The Last Jedi. I hated that movie. I hated that movie because some people says, okay, it wasn't a good Star Wars movie, but it was a good movie. No, it wasn't a good movie or Star Wars movie. It was a horrible Star Wars movie. It wasn't a good movie. And it was the culmination of an individual that said, you know what? I want to do something different. To which I would say, you know what? Then you should write your own movie. That doesn't have 40 years of mythology behind it, that hasn't gained worldwide following based on the story that's happened so far. If you want to do your own thing, then start your own thing. Write your own universe, create your own universe, your own characters, and you can do with it whatever you want. But you were so arrogant that you came into a movie, a franchise, a universe that had been created by somebody else 40 years ago. And you decided, you know what? I know people have grown up with these characters. People have become emotionally attached to this universe, to the characters, to this story. But I'm going to change it up. I'm going to just do it. I'm going to go in a whole new direction. To the point where you're writing a sequel, a direct sequel to a movie that came out a few years prior, and you ignore everything that happened in that movie. Like, you just completely say, he was going in a certain direction, the person that wrote, I'm just going to completely scrap everything he set up for this sequel. I'm just going to do completely my own thing. Which would be great if it was your own movie, but it wasn't. And it was that kind of arrogance, that stupidity, which is the reason why people are now like, okay, I'm not going to pay money just to go see somebody just screw up a story that I grew up with, that I loved since I was a kid. I mean, you've got people that go to these Star Wars movies in full, uniforms, costumes. It's just, you got to realize people are emotionally invested in this franchise, in this universe, And you just said, screw you all, I'm gonna do my own thing. And gotta realize there are consequences for that. Because Rian Johnson, people may look at the money The Last Jedi made and said, see, but you can't blame Rian Johnson. That movie did good. You know why that movie did good? Because of Star Wars. It was part of that universe. It was part of that franchise, which people were so emotionally invested in. People had grown to just adore, like I said, people, if you see people wearing uniforms, standing outside the movie theater for hours to get tickets, that's significant. That means that movie has a significant grasp on, the people's psyches and people's emotions. It means something to them. So that's what got them in the door. After they saw the movie and saw the mockery that Rian Johnson had made of it, see, the reaction is going into the next movie. And that's where Solo screwed up. That's where Solo, and hey, who knows? Maybe Kathleen Kennedy, the exec at Disney that's in charge, says, you know what? That's Solo's going to be the sacrifice. We got to sacrifice Solo because we don't want this backlash to happen on episode 9. Yeah. We don't want this backlash on episode 9. But the simple fact is, hey, that's who I blame. That's why I'm not going to go see it. Simple, point blank, simple. That's why I'm not going to go pay money to see Solo. Because you got me. I actually spent money, went to the movie theater, saw The Last Jedi, and was pissed off at the ridiculousness that was done. I mean, to turn one of the, greatest heroic characters of, into a shell of his former self, to completely drop the plot lines that were building up from the previous sequel, episode 7, to just do some really ridiculous things with the plot and just like some things that just didn't even make sense. It was mind-boggling how ridiculous and how people signed off on that. Because like seeing once you've seen the script that this dude brought to you, like it should have been like, okay, you know what, we're going in another direction. Thank you for your services. You've been great. Next. But they let him write it. They let him direct it. They pushed it. And Rian Johnson, congratulations. You killed Star Wars. That's it for today's episode. Escaping the Echo Chamber. If you disagree, go on. Get at me. I want to hear what you got to say. Because like I always say, like I sometimes say, I should say it more. You can't escape the echo chamber if you're in it.